For millions of families, dementia doesn't just steal memories, it steals moments. Short-term memory loss makes everyday tasks confusing, frustrating, and exhausting. Understanding what's happening at the cellular level can help us explore new approaches to support brain health. As we age, and especially with dementia, the brain's ability to repair itself slows. Neural connections weaken, inflammation increases, and the signals that support memory formation begin to fade. Research shows that oxidative stress and chronic inflammation play major roles in cognitive decline. The brain's neurons become less efficient at communicating with each other, and the protective systems that normally clear out damaged proteins start to fail. This creates a cascade effect that impacts memory, attention, and daily functioning. The body already has a built-in repair system. It uses natural signaling molecules, called peptides, to activate healing, regeneration, and balance. Your body produces hundreds of different peptides, short chains of amino acids that act as messengers between cells. These peptides regulate everything from inflammation to tissue repair to cellular energy production. Two of the most important for brain health are GHK and GHK-Cu, which decline significantly as we age. By age 60, GHK levels can drop by more than 50% compared to youth. In a published double-blind randomized pilot study conducted with rigorous scientific protocols, researchers examined how wearing the LifeWave X39 patch affected the body's repair signals. The study included multiple participants who wore the patch daily, with blood samples taken at baseline, 24 hours, and 7 days to measure changes in peptide levels. Neither the participants nor the researchers knew who received the active patch versus placebo until after data collection was complete. The results were striking. Within just 24 hours, levels of GHK, a powerful repair peptide, significantly increased by an average of 300% in the active patch group. Within 7 days, levels of GHK-Cu, a copper-binding peptide known to support tissue repair and cellular communication, and antioxidant activity also rose significantly. The results were remarkable and statistically significant. The placebo group showed no meaningful changes. These peptides are particularly important because they activate genes involved in wound healing, collagen production, and reducing inflammatory markers throughout the body. These peptides are involved in reducing inflammation, supporting cellular repair, and improving communication between cells, processes essential for short-term memory, focus, and mental clarity. These elevated peptide levels have profound implications for brain health. GHK and GHK-Cu are involved in reducing neuroinflammation, supporting the blood-brain barrier, promoting neuronal repair, and improving communication between brain cells. All processes essential for short-term memory formation, sustained focus, and mental clarity. Studies have shown that GHK-Cu can also help clear beta-amyloid plaques, the protein deposits associated with Alzheimer's disease. While this study focused on measuring biological markers rather than clinical symptoms, the real-world reports from dementia patients and their caregivers have been encouraging. Many report noticeable improvements in short-term recall, remembering conversations from earlier in the day, recognizing family members more consistently, following multi-step instructions more easily, better sleep, and increased daily awareness. Others describe better sleep quality, reduced nighttime confusion, and increased engagement during daytime activities.
When I first was introduced to X39, I heard very early on about the clinical studies that had been done on cognition and memory, and I saw that these patches could really help with cognition, and my husband has advanced dementia. And I wrestled with whether to share the patches with him because he can't do anything for himself, but his cognition is still there enough to cause some suffering. And I didn't want to help him increase his cognition to increase his suffering. So I had decided I wasn't going to share the patch with him. And then in May, he broke his hip and he was in the hospital, and his speech had gotten so garbled that he really couldn't communicate anything. And after 2 days, I just decided, what the heck, I'm going to put a patch on him. and I put a patch on the back of his neck. And I can't explain this. This doesn't make any logical sense. But I had only been able to understand about 10% of what he was saying. And then I put the patch on, and I could understand 50% of what he was saying immediately. Immediately. And I thought to myself, okay, I might be making this up. I might be, I might just be making this up, but I don't care. I can understand 50% of what he's saying. The next morning I came into the hospital, and the nurse who was there overnight was the same nurse who had been there the first night he came in. And she came running over to me so excitedly saying, we had a conversation. Like, I didn't know he could have a conversation. She said, is it true that you met him through his ex-wife? And I said, yes. So I left the patches on him while he was in the hospital. And then when I moved him back to memory care, for a little bit I didn't. And then I decided, you know what? When he used to be able to walk a lot, he used to be able to talk and connect with people. He's losing both of those things. He's lost the walking, really. And so I'm just going to put the patch on and at least let him be able to still have connection and communication with people as long as he can. And then 2 weeks ago, I went to visit him with my son and my grandson. They hadn't seen him for 1.5 years because of what's been going on this last year. And we got there, and uncharacteristically, my husband was not home. There was no light in his eyes. He didn't recognize any of us. This has not been my experience. And I was so discouraged that my son and grandson were going to have this experience. I know it's coming. I know it'll come one day, but I didn't want it to be now because he'd been very engaged with me every time I came to visit, which is frequently. And then a staff member came out and said, I've been meaning to call you. We ran out of patches. And I was like, wow. No, I didn't know if they really were doing anything or not, but then I knew. And I was like, okay, what do? I don't have them in the car because it was like a 95-degree day. I didn't want to keep them in the car. And then suddenly I heard this still small voice say, you've got one on the back of your neck. Take it off, put it on him. So I took the patch off the back of my neck and I put it on him. And he was all bent over and could only look at the floor, and I put my head under and I'm looking up. The light came back into his eyes. He was there. Within about 10 minutes, he was sitting practically upright instead of all curled over, and we had a wonderful 2-hour connection. He made jokes. It was really wonderful and amazing, and I wanted to share that all with you.
These subjective improvements align with what we would expect from enhanced cellular repair and reduced inflammation. Quality sleep plays an absolutely vital role in memory consolidation and brain health. By supporting the body's repair and balance systems, improved sleep may further enhance cognitive function. During deep sleep, the brain's glymphatic system, essentially its waste removal system, becomes highly active, clearing out toxic proteins and metabolic waste that accumulate during waking hours. This includes beta amyloid and tau proteins linked to dementia. By supporting the body's natural repair and balance systems through elevated peptide levels, improved sleep architecture may further enhance cognitive function, emotional regulation, and overall brain resilience. This technology is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. It works by supporting the body's natural processes and should always be considered alongside professional medical care. The LifeWave X39 patch works through phototherapy, using specific wavelengths of light reflected from your body to stimulate acupuncture points and activate your body's own natural processes. It contains no drugs, no chemicals, and nothing enters your body. This approach should always be considered as part of a comprehensive wellness strategy, alongside professional medical care, proper nutrition, regular exercise, and cognitive stimulation. When the body's repair signals are supported, the brain may function more clearly. For families facing dementia, even small improvements can mean more connection, more presence, and more moments that matter. When the body's repair signals are supported at the cellular level, the brain may function more clearly and efficiently. For families facing the challenges of dementia, even small improvements in memory, awareness, and daily functioning can be profoundly meaningful. These moments, recognizing a grandchild's face, remembering a shared story, or simply being more present during a conversation, represent more than just cognitive function. They represent connection, dignity, and quality of life. Every moment of clarity is a gift. Discover the science, explore the research, and decide if supporting your body's natural repair process may be right for you or someone you love. The science behind peptide signaling and cellular repair is well established and continues to evolve. We encourage you to explore the published research, consult with healthcare professionals, and make informed decisions about whether supporting your body's natural repair processes may be appropriate for you or someone you love. While we cannot promise specific outcomes, we can offer hope grounded in science and the possibility that supporting cellular health may help preserve the moments that matter most. Thank you for listening.